I'm feeling chaotic. Here's how shirts work. In its most basic form, a shirt is a square or a rectangle. And then you cut out a hole for your head. Then you cut out holes on each side for your arms. You get 2 of these, sew it at the sides, here, and at the shoulders, here and here. That is how a tank top basically is. Now, if you want to get more complicated and get it fitting you a little bit better, you chop the shoulders. You make them a little bit shorter like that because your shoulders are sloped. They're not square out, they're sloped. So you change the shoulder slope. From there, you might make it a little bit more complicated. So at the front of our body, we don't like tight-fitting things. So your front neckline, that hole you cut out in the front, is going to be deeper than the hole you cut out in the back for your head and your neck. You want a little bit of waist shaping? Just make it go in at the waist and out at the hips. Like that. Now here's how waist darts work, is basically, if you have boobs, you need more shaping than you can get at the sides of this rectangle. So you do a little dart like this at the waist of the rectangle, and that dart points up towards boob. That dart points up towards boob, and you sew the 2 sides of this dart together so that this size down here where your waist is gets a little bit smaller, whereas this part up here where the boob is stays the same size. So that way you get shape going on with this shirt. If you have sizable boobs, you may also find that the front of your shirt is bigger or like wider than the back of your shirt, because that is how you leave enough space in there for boobs. Another thing about the human body is our arms move forward a lot, but they don't really move backwards. So in order to have a shirt that comfortably allows you to do that, your front armhole, that hole you cut out for your arm, will be bigger at the front. You see this is a bigger curve versus the back. This is a much smaller curve, so that bigger curve lets your arm do this, and that smaller curve back there is not necessary because your arm doesn't do the same in the other direction unless you have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or are hypermobile. Anyways, that is essentially how all shirts work, as long as there's no sleeves going on. If there's sleeves going on, there's further things to take into consideration, but that is how shirts work, and the only difference that you would have is getting the angles and the length of the lines and the shape of the curves right in order to fit each specific person. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If this receives good engagement and people like it, I might do one for pants and sleeves.